Hello and welcome to ICG Podcast episode 14. I am Abdul and joining me today is Yesvanth.
Hey all, how's it going? Oh, episode 14, man, it's really good. We have doubled our previous podcast one.
Uh, Thank you for reminding me about that. I didn't think of it as well.
Yeah, our
Uh,
previous podcast ended with seven podcasts. Right now, the second podcast is at number 14, and it's amazing. We have the consistency, and I'm just happy that we are here and we love to talk about games.
yeah, we're more than happy to discuss games and gaming related topics with you guys. And thank you guys for watching. But a little request kindly watch more of our videos. We need more
Yes,
view time.
please.
We need
Yeah.
more view time. Yeah. But thankfully, we got the subscriber goal of 1000 plus. But now people just have to actually watch the videos. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the podcast. So, the important news for right now on PS is the PlayStation Plus Extra for August has been listed. PlayStation Plus games for August has been listed, and it's a pretty big list. But I'm just going to name five or six which seem relevant. So we have Sea of Stars, which is once again going to be one of those day one release games on PlayStation Plus. So look forward to that. It's also going to be a day one Game Pass game, but looks like it's coming to PS first. For Xbox, it'll be later this month. So we have Sea of Stars. Then we have Moving Out 2, which I found that was kind of nice. I saw the trailer of it. I think it'll be a fun game to play. Then we have Lost Judgment. Then we
Mm.
have one of the classic game Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Then curiously, we have Dreams. So for those of you who did not claim the PlayStation Plus Essential games for this month, kindly do so because one of those games is Dreams. And if you don't want to claim it, well, you can play it on Extra. It's available there. The other one that I find very funny is that if you guys remember a few episodes back, I was feeling bad that Lawn Mowing Simulator was leaving Game Pass. But
Right.
looks like Sony has got me covered because now Lawn Mowing Simulator Landmark Edition is now available on PlayStation Plus Extra. So yeah, I can
Uh,
mow that
Movier land.
mow the lawn that I will never have in real life. Yes, I will. And another highlight I want to note is that this month Midnight Fight Express is leaving Game Pass, but now it is joining PlayStation Plus Extra. So when can
Oh
you get
man,
these?
there is a pattern, I suppose, right? The game
Yeah,
leaves Game Pass and then you see it on PS Plus Extra.
yeah, this is pretty much like those OTT kind of licenses where something is available on either Netflix and then it moves to Prime or Hotstar and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, well, if when you're wondering when you can get these games, most probably sometime in the afternoon of the 15th. So, look forward to that. You'll be occupied with that. And the other interesting news for the previous week is the fact that I should recap that when Yashwant told us that they saw a site listing saying Rockstar presents Red Dead Redemption, people were pretty hyped. Rumors floating around will be a remaster, remake. And then Rockstar decided to pull the rug from beneath our feet and be like, no, 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 no. We're giving you a re release. So,
re-release. That's so good, man. I didn't think of it.
yeah. So now Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption will be releasing for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. It will be available on August 17. There will be no native PS5 version. They removed the multiplayer, but it will include the Undead Nightmare part of it, so you can take out your
DLC,
frustrations.
I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, you can take out your frustrations of Rockstar by shooting the zombies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and but as of now, it's digital only. Physical will be arriving on October 13th, and the price is $49.99, which is in rupees 3,499. So yeah, I think Rockstar is I don't know, maybe 10 years late in doing this port. When Naughty Dog
Yeah,
and all were busy making remastered of PS3 games for the PS4, Rockstar was too busy milking GTA 5. And then someone must have been like, we never bought Red Dead Redemption to the PS4. Maybe we should do that. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. And now they
yeah,
released it for the PS4, which means for those of you who hate it, yeah, it's going to be locked at 30 FPS. Yes, I mean those
yeah.
who
It's
play.
just one L after another L. It's a massive L. I think we have covered it sufficiently in our previous podcast, saying that Rockstar and Take-Two, they basically they want to milk a franchise as much as they can. I don't know what's the limit of that for them, but basically, I was very certain that we might just see a minimum upgrade such as 60 FPS, nothing like a remaster or remake or whatever it is. I thought the worst they could do was just give us a 60 FPS and be done with it. But they surprised me even more, and it was worse than what I could have imagined. It's just a re-release, and even without some of the part of the game like multiplayer, right, altogether, and then for a price as $50, meaning 3,500 rupees, it just doesn't make any sense, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, the only reason people buy this, I can only think two reasons. One is people who still have a PS4 could not play it on PS3, they might buy it. The second reason might be very big fans of Red Dead Redemption 2 might want to see what happens in the story, so they buy it. For those of you who don't know, Red Dead Redemption 1 is actually the sequel to Red Dead Redemption 2. Funny, right? But yeah, so if you want to know where the story goes, you'll probably play that. But I'm pretty sure many people are just going to wait for a big sale or discount and buy it when it's become very cheap.
Yep.
Because I don't think that people want to buy a, I don't know, 10 plus year old game for $50, 3,500 rupees, man. I mean, for a PlayStation 3 port, and yeah, it's just stupid. I mean, I don't know, maybe they just created two folders on their desktop. One is PlayStation 3, one is PlayStation 4, and copied all the files from PlayStation 3, put it in the PlayStation 4 folder, and they printed the disc. And I don't know game developing, but the way they did it just makes it seem like that. I'm sorry about it.
Oh
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that sounds too bad. I think it just shows the extent Rockstar is willing to go to just exploit its consumers, its fans, just the gamers. They know that they can get away with this, and they're just doing it. And unfortunately, we can't. I mean, there are people who will buy these, who will be like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this game no matter what it is." And because of the people like those, I think they just keep pulling these stunts, and we are not being the gamers are not being respected for what the money they are paying for.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That is why
I
people
mean,
say
yeah.
vote with your wallet, but I don't think wallets have voter IDs, so never mind. Yeah,
I
anyways.
do have a question, Abdul,
Uh-huh.
in the comments.
Yeah. By the way, hello, pepper onion soup. Okay, that sounds nice. Pepper onion soup. I should try that one day, perhaps. Okay,
Yeah.
anyways. And he says, I wish they gave us proper emulation for all PS3 titles on PS5. Ah, well, don't we all? But
Oh, I would be the first one who is most elated and excited, but at the same time, I have again an entire generation worth of catalog to go through. I have PS4, now I'll have PS3.
yeah, good thing you don't play PS2 or PS1. People, I mean, people who are played those might feel nostalgic and want to play it, but for people who started out in the PS4 or PS5 generation, they might not be very excited to
Eager.
try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And being a guy who started from the PlayStation 2 myself, I wasn't very eager either because many of the games that I loved from the PS2 era, lots of these studios were actually shut down, or
Mm.
Sony's not having the license to it, or I don't know. They're not available on Deluxe. That's why I didn't buy Deluxe myself. But yeah, I mean, we all know the reason why it's not possible. It's pretty because the PS3 had a custom cell architecture, and even the PS3 Slim, if you remember, did not have backward compatibility with PlayStation 2 games
Yeah.
because they removed that chip from the original PlayStation 3, which allowed it to play PlayStation 2 games. So since it's a completely custom architecture, it got a lot of flack from developers and gamers alike. So Sony decided to go back to traditional architecture made by AMD and the like. So for the PS4 and PS5, they pretty much stuck to those sort of cell architectures. That's why the PS5 is compatible with the PS4 games.
Yeah.
But now, in order for them to make it PS3 compatible, they'll have to put a lot of money into R&D. Perhaps may even need to make a new, if they even plan on doing it, then they might even have to make a new version of the PS5. But obviously, they're not going to do that because in the long run, they don't want to spend that much money. They might as well just push PlayStation Plus Premium to users and tell them to stream it.
I think we
Uh,
already have 5 revisions of PS5 already.
three, yeah,
I think
I'm
five
counting.
entire. If you count every single hardware change they made, I think it's five, and we can make it seven if you think about Slim and Pro that are going to make their way. So I think 5 to 7 at least. It's safe to assume so. There has been always a slim version in all the generations, right? From PS1 to PS4, there has always been a slim version.
I think it really started from PS2, I guess.
No, there
PS1
was
was
one for PS1.
really.
Wait a second.
I don't remember because
I saw
PS1
a tweet that showed that there was.
because as
Yeah,
far
there was.
okay, interesting. Because as
Yeah.
far as I know, the PS1 itself is tiny. It's very tiny. I mean, it's
Yeah, they
basically
made it even tiny. Yeah, I'll make a tweet about this. I found this and I was like, okay, let's wait for right time and I'll give this. But yeah, I do have a picture of PS1. I 100% I'm not sure if that is the actual one.
uh,
But there is one, so I'll just make a tweet and see what's gonna happen.
yeah. Maybe I'll also look it up because as far as I remember, the PS1 was tiny. It's basically just it was just like a mini DVD player with slots for controllers and yeah.
Right, right, yeah,
But anyways, yeah. I mean, I have the original PlayStation 2. I saw the Slim. My cousin brother bought a Slim, and yeah. I mean, Slim has been ongoing. That's why people are very very confident we'll get a Slim. But as far as
yeah,
revisions go, I think the current PlayStation 5 we have, I think it had three of them. One was the launch model, then they released one with the smaller heatsink, then they
yeah,
released one with the 6 nanometer. Yeah, nanometer. I think that's the correct term. I'll just say NM. 6 NM chip, and yeah, I think we only had three. I think we only had three, yeah. But if you count variations, it'll be six because all three of them had digital editions, so six different types of PlayStations. And we might get more in the future. I mean, like they said, a detachable disk drive version could be coming. Then there's a Slim, and of course, maybe Pro next year. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
yeah.
And
We have comments again.
yeah, again, pepper onion soup. Maybe I should order it soon. I mean, Xbox Series X has some portability for 360 games, so I can wish for. I mean, yeah, I mean, Microsoft did a good job in being able to have backward compatibility, but kudos to them for that. I mean, they still have you can run original Xbox games on that as well, and that's good because I don't think they deviated too much from the cell architecture and stuff. So it was possible. Um,
Yeah, in on Xbox Series S, you can even emulate Switch. So,
yeah, I mean, emulation. That's a different kind of thing we will not talk about because it's not a common thing.
hey,
Anyways,
Melly Ting.
yeah.
Hi, mate. How's it going?
Hey, Melly, how are you doing? Good to see you finally being in part of the podcast comments. So yeah, hello. Anyways, as I was saying, so yeah, I think we can only consider three versions of the PlayStation 5. But we'll see. Three more are expected as per rumors, but time will tell.
Yep.
Anyways, just like we have FIFA every year, the next Call of Duty is been around, so it's going to be called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Not a big surprise, and it will be released on November 10th, 2023. Man, I feel like time is flying by really fast because I still feel like it was just yesterday that Modern Warfare 2 launched. But
I was actually thinking exactly the same thing. What happened to the previous Modern Warfare? Wasn't it like not even less than a year ago since there was a previous Modern Warfare? And oh my God, this is going crazy, man. And I
yeah,
also heard about the news, and I think I tweeted about this right today morning or yesterday morning that it's going to release first for PS5 and then for Xbox.
yeah, they have to honor their agreement for their deal, right? So they have to do it. We can't get a day one on Game Pass yet, but yeah,
Yeah, I
anyways,
think it's still first person shooter, right? I think
that's a
they're not going to go with third person. Maybe that's
nah,
the change that they can hope like they can come out and say that we have made a significant change to the Call of Duty franchise, which is now you can play in third person. Wow.
and immediately 90% of the fan base will go crazy
Yeah.
because they'll be like, why the hell did you have to ruin what we liked in the first place? We want
In the
first
sense,
person.
you can switch between first person and third person, I
I
suppose.
mean, I mean, if you give the option to switch, it's fine. If you just directly be like, here's third person, play it. Then like, oh, no, no, this is wrong. We got so used to first person for all these years.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so talking about shooting games, another interesting fact is Quake II Remastered has been officially revealed, and it is now available on all platforms. And as usual, I was going through Twitter feed to get news for the podcast, and I saw a few tweets somewhere saying like they were comparing this and Red Dead Redemption, like Rockstar charging $50 for a 10 plus year old game which is now only ported to a previous gen console. Meanwhile, here ID Software is making Quake 2 remastered for all current gen consoles and PC, and it's not even half the price of what Red Dead Redemption is. So yeah, you can see how it goes. And well, we have an interesting question from Elio. What are both of your guys' names? I'm Abdul. He is Yashwant.
Hey, this is Yesvanth.
Yeah, and if you pretty much watch the introduction of all of our videos, the first thing I say is this is Abdul and Yashwant. But yeah, anyways, the more you know, the better. So, anyways, moving on.
I think yeah, coming to the capabilities of this, right? It supports 4K widescreen support. I don't know who asked for this, but I mean they were considerate enough to support gamers who own a monitor and not just a 4K TV or something like that. So this is a welcomes. I mean feature to the game and improved animations and gore. I think Quake is very famous for gore, right? So
Yes,
we do have gore, improved AI, of course. With every remaster, there's a little bit of improved AI. Includes a brand new expansion with 28 levels from Machine Games. I don't know what that is. Uh, Machine Games. Is that a studio? What is that Machine Games? But
maybe.
online and local multiplayer with crossplay.
Yeah,
Anytime I see local multiplayer, I get very excited. That is people not appreciating the local multiplayer
yeah,
enough. Previously, if you have a gaming console or whatever it is, when the internet was such a huge thing, before internet was such a huge thing, it was just few kids just sitting LAN parties, right? Used to call it
Yeah,
LAN parties. We just used to sit in a room, bring a router or something for a local connections, and then we used to play these local
yeah,
multiplayer games and split
yeah,
screen. All these things, they just bring our, I would say, experience more together. Now with online, you sit in your room, I sit in my room. I don't have to come to your house to play. That's
yeah,
okay. You play, but you don't have the same experience as
yeah,
hanging out in the same room and then quarreling over the wins and losses.
yes,
I think local multiplayer is always an amazing feature, and I suppose if you have a multiplayer, bring local multiplayer to the game. Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking of local multiplayer. I mean, like Ashwin said, it's like a rare feature nowadays. I mean, I still remember back in the PS2 days, local multiplayer was a huge thing. I mean, even games like GTA San Andreas had multiplayer, local multiplayer. You can bring in your friend, and in my case, it was my brother. We both used to just take turns. One guy will drive, one guy will shoot. Sometimes we'll switch. And since I was always the better driver, I would always take the cars first. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's fun experience because nowadays, if you are playing something like Street Fighter or something and you win or lose, you just yell through your microphone, and the other person just throws down their controller or whatever. But if it is local co-op, it'll be the benefit is if you lose in frustration, you can just punch the guy sitting next to you.
Yeah, the friendly quarrel. Yes, I mean it's part of the experience. It's part of the fun. It's part of gaming itself. That's what gaming used to be, man. It used to be getting together and then having that experience, sharing that experience in live together. And yeah, we do have pepper onion soup. Oh man, the many times you comment, I'm just a step away from ordering that on Zomato.
Yeah,
All right, I saw that, and to be honest, it's a remaster and not a remake like FF7, so the graphics are only a small improvement. I wish Quake 2 got the FF7 treatment. It was one of my first games.
mhm,
Ah, yes. And it always comes down to the resources and the interest of a franchise, right? If, let's say, and also the money milking aspect of it. Obviously, if it's a good IP, they will always want to get more out of it. And all these three combined, I think the studios, the publishers, they make a decision like, should we make a ground up remake or should we first go with remaster, play it safe, dip our toes and see if our IP still has those fan base and if they are still reconnecting. I think the other reason is they don't want to be out of gamers' mind. This is one of the reason that if developers and publishers they push anything as soon as possible. If there is a period like let's say 5 years or 10 years and a publisher or a developer did not release, even though it's a good one, people just to stop talking about them, and that's the most biggest fear for any publisher and developer. So I think that's one of the reason as well. They just want to be in the conversations in the market, and to do that and considering other aspects, as I said, they just want to come out with these small improvements like remastered 60 fps or whatever it is, and then keep themselves in the market and slowly see how the market is reacting and take it from there.
yeah. Looking at Yashwant's comment, I think Rockstar must be really, really frightened because of the way they're always in the conversation.
No, it's not. It's one of the point for other studios, but not Rockstar. Rockstar
Yeah,
is not. It's not going to be. Even it takes 10 years to release GTA 6. I don't think people will forget Rockstar. They are just famous for the games and not for the studio that's behind it. They don't know basically. They just know the game, and so if they want to, if the studio wants to survive, they'll do something like this. Hey, we are still here, and we do have some new content or available for new players. I think this is their one of the reasons.
Yeah, and we got a question from Melly. It's Abdul Jabbar. Yes, it's Abdul Jabbar. Yeah, that's my full name.
This
Yeah.
is the AJ, the original AJ. So,
No, it's actually AJ the second. The original AJ is my grandfather. So yeah.
oh, right.
So, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I was named after him, so I'm the second. But as far as ICG goes, I'm the first and only AJ.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, and yeah, pepper onion soup once again. Oh my God, man, you're making me thirsty. Doom Eternal did fairly well, so I feel there is a market for a Quake 2 full remake. First
Yeah.
and foremost, I don't think people even expected this sort of big remaster with 4K widescreen support and
Exactly.
improved animations and gore and improved AI and online and local multiplayer crossplay. I mean, this is a huge thing which people didn't expect. I mean, I, I don't know about others, but as far as I know, I never even heard a rumor about this remaster going on. But then, boom, it's suddenly there, and it just got shadow dropped in one of the um, live streams, and it got shadow dropped directly into Game Pass, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is interesting. So
Yeah.
I mean, the market, if there is the market, they'll definitely appreciate this because this is not a $70 remake or like $50 re-release. So I mean, they'll like this. They'll enjoy this. If they like it, they'll definitely enjoy this. Yeah. So yeah, kudos to the studio for going ahead with this decision and making such big changes because I still remember like the when playing Quake 2 back on its original, like the gore is basically red pixels. I'm like, okay, very gory. And now
Yeah.
I just want to see how it goes. But yeah, anyways, moving on. A new Lego Harry Potter game is reportedly in the works. Uh-huh. So will this be the next Hogwarts Legacy? No, obviously not.
Oh
Uh,
man. I mean, when Hogwarts Legacy was first showcased, everybody was a bit concerned. What is the control? What is the gameplay going to be? People were like, "Do I just use my left thumbstick and then that's the only thing I use my control?" And they are pretty concerned. And I think the way the Hogwarts Legacy, it just impressed. I suppose it was a bit more than everybody expected, and I know there could be down the game. It could be repetition, I suppose, according to some of the gamers, but it did fairly better than what most of the gamers expected. And you can never anticipate what Lego is going to do. So coming
mm,
to the Lego, it has its own flavor kind of thing. So
yeah,
it must have its own humor, I suppose, if that's going to happen. And its meta commentaries, ironies, all those things will be there as part of Lego. And yeah, let's see if Hogwarts will have another amazing game.
as far as I'm concerned, I love Lego games for two reasons. And of obviously one Yashanth already stated, it's the humor. They're quite hilarious. Kudos to the writers for the jokes. I really
Yep.
enjoy them. Second part is that you can always co-op in all of those games. So if you just want to chill out with your siblings or your nieces, nephews, anybody, just put this game on, have some fun together, and co-op, and it'll be fun. So yeah, and of course we got a comment from the happy son. It's
Yep.
okay. Is there another son which is not happy? Okay, never mind. The only thing I heard about Hogwarts Legacy was the boycott going on because of the J.K. Rowling thing. Yeah, of course, that is a big, very
Yeah.
big thing. I mean,
I mean, the moment Harry Potter, the TV series was also announced, right?
mm,
There was a big, big, I would say, fans' concern was like how much J.K. Rowling is going to be involved in this. What is her role in this? Is she going because she had a pretty big role as a screenplay, right? A writer or as
yeah,
whatever it is for the Fantastic Beasts
yeah,
franchise,
yeah.
and it didn't turn out to be as good and heartwarming as the Harry Potter franchise was
Mm,
initially for. I mean, it kept darker as we know because of the story, but
mm,
I think Harry Potter is more than its author right now. It's its own world, and there are people who love that, and there are people who can spin up these new stories beyond just what the author has wrote, and it will always this will be continuing even if the author has not that anybody is wanting, but basically
Mm,
this will be beyond just J.K. Rowling. This is Harry Potter. It's its own brand, I would say.
yeah, I still remember the amount of uproars, protests, petitions, whatever against J.K. Rowling against the entire game. People are like boycott this game, and I don't know why this world runs in like a reverse order because if people are told not to do something is what they do. So the more the boycott, the more the stuff went on. People are more impressed. I mean, people who didn't even know the game existed or didn't even bother about it were like, huh, what's the big fuss? Let me try it out. And guess what? Sales skyrocketed. Game
Yeah,
was number one on Twitch
yeah,
streaming when it was available. So,
yeah,
I mean, of course, people, they don't, some people, they felt very taken aback and very upset about the comments made by J.K. Rowling and whatnot. Huge controversy, which I am not willing to discuss. But of course, she, like, people saying that buying this game will support her because she will get some loyalty stuff and money through this. And I mean, if she's going to get it, she's going to get it. We can't do anything about that, can we? Because it's not something that she has sold away yet that we can stop it, stop her from earning stuff. And I mean, I don't want to delve into that. If we're going to buy a game, not buying it is not going to affect anybody. We just want to play it because we like the franchise. We don't care about the author. And
yeah,
besides, it was not her who sat down, started learning coding, and made the game herself. It was some other studio.
yeah, yeah,
So we might as well see what the studio has done with the franchise, see how they adapted it, and just enjoy it for what the other people make out of it. You don't have to bring the author into this. If you really want to neglect it, then go ahead. No one is stopping you from neglecting it. But for the people who are curious, they will definitely try it out, no issues. But like Yashwant said, the game was quite successful. Lots of people liked it, but going like I know a few platinum hunters on the server. They got really burnt out from trying to hunt the platinum because it was so grindy.
yeah.
And like for some people, what was really annoying was the fact that the platinum trophy was bugged. So even though they did everything, they did not get the trophy. That really frustrated people. So yeah, that is one of the downsides of buying the game at launch. So, but yeah, nonetheless, there was also the partiality thing where you get exclusive quests and stuff if you had the PS5 version compared to Xbox thing. I mean, the whole game itself was a controversy. So I don't know. Hopefully, Lego Harry Potter will not be like that. People will accept the humor rather than criticize it. So you just have to wait
Yeah,
and see.
the Happy Sun says it's being trashed by game devs since it was too good.
Right? You,
Um,
you missed the comment before that. You heard the weird issue with Baldur's Gate 3 game. I mean, at this point, who hasn't? It's
right,
all
right.
over Twitter. I mean, it's been thrashed by games devs since it was too good. And I've seen articles where people were like, now
This is
players,
going to set a bad example for all the developers.
they are
I
now,
mean, expectations for the gamers.
everyone is going to be expecting a lot more from AAA games and blah blah blah. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, what they did was they can show what it's capable of. They were a
What?
pretty,
Yes.
yeah, they were a pretty small studio. In fact, it's still a double A game. They were almost at a point of bankruptcy at one point, and after slowly recovering, only they started going on a hiring spree and got there. The thing that people sometimes forget is this game took 3 years to make. So
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years they took their time to put it through early access, go and fix things, and even now the game is getting bug fixes almost every week. So I mean, it's okay to expect better stuff from AAA studios, but then again, people who like particular games will still play those particular games. The amount of people expecting too much will be not that big of a number. I mean, of course, they'll be like, oh, look, these guys did better than you and this and that. But in the end of the day, people who love Ubisoft games will play Ubisoft games. People who
Yeah.
love Bethesda games will play Bethesda games. People who love EA I haven't heard of people like that, but they will play EA games. And
So true.
I mean, whatever games gamers are like, they will play it. And if they
Well
find
played.
shortcomings, they'll complain about it on Twitter, and they'll move on with life. That's how it goes. And
Yep.
so,
A
I
comment
mean,
again. I think
yeah,
if I boycotted every product in which people I don't like are involved, I will be sitting in the storage. Obviously, mate. It's every game has its haters, fans, and critics, and again devotees. So
mm,
every game will have all those. It's what
yeah,
makes an argument an argument. So of course, every game will have its own good and bad, and whatever you like, you just stick to that and experience that part of the game. So yeah,
yeah. I mean, from my point of view, as far as I know, no one that I like or dislike are working for any game studio that I know, so I cannot boycott any of them. So yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't hate anyone in the industry. I don't know anyone in the industry. I only know the games that are coming out and I'll play them. So I'm not boycotting games, man. The only thing that is giving me a good pastime, so I'm not boycotting any games. But yeah,
yeah. Three
anyways.
3 years is nothing in front of Starfield's 20 years. Haha, but no expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's not actually completely 20 years. Abdul, take it over.
Say, why you just threw the towel on me? Okay. So okay, fair enough. I'll just go ahead because you requested. Yeah, the thing is, with Starfield, they had the 20 years thing. Is like it's not like they turned on their computers 20 years ago and started typing one key every day. It's not like that. It's been like they had an initial concept, then they had a story. They reworked on the concept, reworked on the story. Meantime, new engines came in. They had new games come in. They worked through that. They worked through the engine. They grabbed few elements from here, grabbed few elements that. So it's basically like they just started pouring in. Let's say they took a glass of water 20 years ago. And don't say 20 years ago. I'll say just 2 minutes ago. They took a glass of water. They started first pouring in some hot water. Then they put in some tea bags, let it soak, put in some sugar, and that's the sort of development thing that went on. I don't
I
know if
think
it's a
it was not their priority, I suppose, for the reason it took completely from the inception to the, I would say, going gold. Did Starfield go gold yet?
I don't think so. No, it's still in the promotion
No, we
stage.
didn't see any announcements. Yeah, it
Yeah,
still didn't go gold. But basically, let's say from its inception to going gold, it's 20 years. It's basically they didn't give all the resources and all the attention and all um the game needs its own. So basically, they are like, let's see more Fallout. Let's see more. What is this?
Elder Scrolls
Skyrim,
Skyrim. Yes.
Elder Scrolls. Yeah, all these, and then let's just have this as our backlog, and we'll develop it bit by bit, bit by bit, and that's the reason I suppose.
Yeah. So, like in one of our previous episodes, I gave the example of Avatar. The game. I mean, sorry, not the game. The movie. Movie took 10 years to make. It's not like they started filming 10 years ago. They had the story, they had the concept, they had everything. But the problem is that the technology was not there for them to do the
Yeah,
motion capture in 3D and everything. So they had the initial things ready, and when the technology came in, then they had to get the cast together, had to make them act through the motion capture, do everything for it to finally come out. It's not like it took 10 years. Same thing with this thing. They might have not had the technology for the scope they had planned. They might not have had the sort of features they could bring in now with the new engine. So that's what I mean. They must have thought of the idea 20 years ago. They thought, okay, we'll do this when the time is right, put it in the backlog, focused on other games, released a game, decided to release it on three different consoles, and then once again remaster it, and then create an
yeah,
online version of it, add five expansions to the online version of it, and then they're like, okay, you know what? I think we have enough money and resources. Let's go back to our backlog. So yeah,
backlogs. Yeah, it's hope Starfield does not go the way of Redfall. Yeah, Pepperoni, and I think it's too big to fail as of now.
Yeah.
from my experience and how Microsoft and Xbox has been pushing this. I think it's very big to fail.
Uh-huh.
So I would be surprised if it does not um, go well, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the entire industry would be a bit uh, hit by this, even though it's just Xbox exclusive. It's going to affect the entire industry as a game because it's such a big game. Everybody at
Yeah.
least might have heard about Starfield by now. So
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're putting ads in Saudi Arabia of all places. So yeah, it's big. I mean, they, uh, had the Constellation Edition where they gave you the watch which you wear in the game that the character wears for for 50 to 60,000 rupees. Man, I'm not buying that. But yeah, anyways, that is something different. But yeah, and that thing does not even work as a smartwatch or anything. It just has a display. I don't know if it even tells the time properly. But anyways, other than that, we had special Starfield limited edition controllers, headsets, and
it's
now out of all things, they made gaming chairs.
having chairs. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the promotion is pretty strong for Starfield. They just started. I think
Microsoft has deep pockets.
they have deep pockets. I mean, they did really put up a big hole through their pockets recently, but they still have money. They still have money. So yeah, I mean, it's almost time for the early access to come out. So their
Yeah.
marketing will just increase from now on. So we just have to wait and see about that. And Halo Infinite was big too. I mean, well, it was not made 10 years ago. Okay, it didn't start
Exactly.
together. But yeah, I mean, it's everything dependent on the studio and what they're doing and how much
No,
Microsoft is.
Halo went through different game directors. It changed hands between the creative directors. It fell through the gaps, I suppose.
Uh,
Even like some of the game lead designer or something, they didn't feel happy. Uh, the way it was being handled. So basically, you could see that uh, it was not going to be a good before the launch itself. But we didn't see any of those examples for Starfield. Or did I miss anything? So everything about Starfield has been. I mean, there was one when it was first showcased, I suppose, that it was too bland, like
uh,
it was not very much flushed out. But when we saw the recent trailers and the reveal, we saw they completely revamped that area. It's packed with information. It's packed with the things you want to see in a space world, I suppose. So yeah, they took that input. So that's one thing. That's a good thing to know that the studio, the publishers are listening to the community, and they are actively working on it. That's what you want to see for a game to not fail.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, all the best for Starfield. Let's wait and see. And yeah, before we get too sidetracked, I'll just
Yeah.
have one more comment to read. Happy Sun asks, what's your thought on games stuck with old gen engines like Jedi Survivor? I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
basically to cater the old gen players. That's the only reason. That's the only thing, and because they have how many million? 200 million units for PS4. I don't know how many.
I think it's
One,
200 is a big stretch, I guess. I think they have somewhere
yeah,
around maybe 120, 130. I don't know. I think
something.
that.
So there is millions of gamers who still has access to the old gen, right? The fastest way to get millions of sales is again cater to the people who has old gen along with the new gen.
Yeah.
That's the fastest way to make money. And coming to the experience, of course, we don't want the old gen to be held by. I mean, the games to be held by the old gen restrictions. It's bit of good and bad. We want our gamers, our friends, who has only old gen to experience that game, and we also want
Mm,
the best of the game that it can offer. So we have to make a compromise in this case, and it's not completely bad if they can pull it off with proper support and everything. I think it's nothing. That's going to blow away, I suppose.
Yeah, as far as I know, the only engines I know are petrol and diesel, and I cannot differentiate between game engines, man. So I'm not an expert in that field, so I have no comments regarding that. Excuse me. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming back to this news. Oh my god. Grand Theft Auto 5 sells 185 million copies, and 5 million of those were in the last 3 months. People are not buying. Stop buying this stuff, man.
Stop buying GTA 5, people, man. Come on. Just stop the play buying so that they'll put some effort into GTA 6, I suppose. As long as you keep buying, they'll keep selling more.
Yeah,
Oh man, GTA 5,
yeah,
185 million copies and 5 million in the last 3 months for a game that released in PS3.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, yeah.
No wonder Rockstar has the guts to re-release a PS3 game as a PS4.
For PS4 in
Yeah,
2023. Yeah.
yeah. If this is the way it goes, I think after GTA 6 we'll have to wait 20 years for GTA 7. But okay.
20
Uh,
years is still a fast year, I suppose.
yeah, for Rockstar perhaps. But anyways, moving on. So we'll just quote out the Sony
Yeah.
PlayStation first quarter gaming highlights. So 3.3 million units were sold, which brings the total PlayStation 5 lifetime sales to 41.7 million sold, and there are 47.4 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, and the monthly active users on PlayStation Network is 108 million, and 56.5 million games were sold for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, 6.6 million of which were first party games. And and from the other stat which I'm going to tell you, you know the future is inevitable, and that is 72% of those sales were digital. That just makes me all shudder. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the inevitable
Oh
future we're
man.
going to.
Yeah, I don't want to go through that rabbit hole. It's going to take us time to discuss why it's not good to support. I was one of the people who didn't know that the drawbacks of buying a game digitally when I first was introduced to PS5. I was innocent or naive enough to just get the games on sale on PS Plus, sorry, PS app.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, as I was educated and I came to know the restrictions, the all the things that digital games come with, I made a decision that I'm not going to buy a digital game ever again. If I'm going to own a game that makes the game mine, it's going to be physical.
Yep, same here. I'm just growing my own physical collection. But yeah, anyways, regarding sales numbers, the Xbox Series X and S and the Xbox One sales have been compared for 32 months through a period of 32 months by VG charts, and this is an estimate. So the Xbox One sold 22.41 million units within 32 months, whereas the Series X and S sold 22.36 million.
Oh
So,
man, that's so low compared to X and S.
yeah, combined. So,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
after 32 months, the new generation consoles are an estimated 50,000 units behind the Xbox One. Yeah,
No wonder they are buying these studios so that they stay relevant.
I don't know if that's the cause, but I don't know. People have really taken,
I
you know,
mean, as long as Sony keeps making deals with the publishers to release their games exclusively, what they did was so clever, man. They didn't buy the studio or publisher. They just made sure that the game did not release on Xbox. It's almost like owning the studio, but not entirely.
yeah,
So if Sony keeps doing that, their Microsoft's only way to respond is basically, yeah, they have the pockets, deep pockets, and they can just buy the studio and stop Sony from making those exclusive deals. So I
yeah,
think exclusivity is the reason that Xbox is not as famous as PlayStation. I'm 100% sure that's the biggest reason. And with these purchases, I think acquisitions, it I think they will have exclusivity. That's what they are going to push for. That's they want. If they think about a game, they just need to Xbox should pop up in their mind. Nothing else. That's their goal. And I think once they have that kind of library, I think you will see better sales for Xbox as well.
Well, as far as I believe, I don't bother about the rest of the world. It's Indian console gamers after all, so I'll speak mostly about India. As far as Xbox presence in India is go, it's they're nowhere to be seen, man. We don't have
Yeah,
like an official distributor. We don't have official stores, service centers for it, and there is absolutely zero marketing for the Xbox over here. And to add salt to that wound, they also hiked up the prices. Yeah,
yeah,
so and they're selling it with bundles 2 years after the game has launched. So at the same time, PS has had at least four bundles come out. So I mean, they should actually take a bigger look at the Indian market, not neglect us, at least, because there's a huge potential to be had here. But what can
absolutely.
we do? It's all up to their executives to decide. Let them decide, and I hope they do better. That's all I can say. Anyways, next thing is Ubisoft has shared updates regarding Assassin's Creed Mirage microtransactions. Yeah, microtransactions in any sentence is not something that's any good in any way, especially when it's considered with games. And when people are like, this is going back to the roots, and they were happy about it, they brought in microtransactions. People just, got really frustrated, and Ubisoft had to come out and say what it was about. So there won't be any dedicated subscription model. They won't advertise it about it in game, and these microtransactions are mostly optional cosmetics at launch. They won't affect your gameplay in any way. And there will be in-game news in Mirage. There'll be in-game news on Assassin's Creed, and there'll be more updates to be shared in the next few weeks by Ubisoft. And yeah, so basically they're trying to say you don't have to worry about the microtransactions. You only have to buy it if you want to make your character look cool, and that's it. And I hope that's they stop with that, because anything beyond that is just going to be ruining that back to the roots approach they had.
Yeah,
And anyways, looks like the coming months is something very exciting and also depressing for gamers, because exciting because plenty of good games are coming. Depressing is because they don't know which ones to buy and which ones not to buy.
yeah,
And many of them are thinking of buying all of them, which will mean they'll be homeless after buying all of them. So yeah, I mean, it's very tough because the lineup is quite good. Like October is just packed, man.
yeah.
Like I'll just read out the list for you guys. Like we have Forza Motorsport on October 10th, Assassin's Creed Mirage on October 12th, Lords of the Fallen October 13th, Alan Wake 2 on October 17th, Spider-Man 2 on October 20th, Super Mario Bros. Wonder on October 20th. So yeah, within 10 days, it's crazy. I mean, multi-platform games, exclusives, and also yeah, those are the two type of games anyway. So yeah,
Yeah. I
so
mean, when you read about October 20, right? I was like, oh my God, we are already close to end of the year and the Game Awards, and oh my God, I think I was like, didn't we just go through Game Awards recently? And
yeah,
we are going to have one more as at the end of the year. I was like, time is flying as fast as it can, man. I don't know what's
uh,
happening, but yeah,
uh,
we're already at the end of 2023. Oh my God. And yeah, you can see, I think the biggest ones I is basically the Spider-Man 2, followed by, for me, basically is Alan Wake. That's the franchise is more, I mean, popular from what I see. And obviously Super Mario. Assassin's Creed will always be there, Forza, and a lot of the foreign. I don't know what that is.
yeah, and pepper onion soup. So you gotta go, guys. Have a good evening. Yeah, you have a great evening and a great week ahead, man. Thank you for making us feel the need to get some pepper onion soup.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, in my
Thank you for joining.
yeah, thank you for joining us. And yeah, the little thing that is kind of upsetting, not upsetting, but everything is upsetting when you have to consider the fact you have to pay for all of this. But yeah, the one fact is that Alan Wake 2 is going to be digital only.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that is a big no for me. But I wasn't planning on buying it anyways. In fact, I'm not planning on buying any of the games for October. Otherwise, I'll be completely broke for the rest of the year. So I'm not going to. I want to wait. But anyways, yeah, for me, I'm a racing guy. I'm very excited for Forza Motorsport and Spider-Man 2. Of course, lots of people are going to play it. I'll probably end up borrowing a disc from some of my friend who might have completed it within the first week because he's been sitting and playing it 24 hours every day. So yeah, I might borrow it from some people who do that. Finish the campaign and give it back to them. And obviously, I can't play Super Mario Brothers. I don't have a Switch. And Assassin's Creed Mirage might might give it a shot later on, not immediately, not in a rush. And Lords of the Fallen, that is something that is interesting because the developers had a shot in 2014. Lord of the Fallen came out in 2014. Uh, it did okayish. Basically, they wanted to make a rival to Souls games with a different concept of being able to immediately go between two different worlds and play and stuff and have the
Yeah.
same difficulty as Souls games. But um, the trailer itself was a meme at one point, and that goes to show how well the game did. But I think the devs just took a step back, went to the drawing board, decided to flush everything out, make it next gen only, and perfect the
Wait a
formula.
second. It was first announced in 2014.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen was already there in 2014. This is another Lords of the Fallen which they're making.
It's like a soft reboot or complete reboot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like a complete reboot for
Okay.
next gen, completely next gen. But they want to say that you don't have to play the first game in order to know what the hell is going on in the next
In the
game.
sense, yeah, that's what a reboot is
Yeah,
meaning, right? You don't. It's basically we screwed the first one, so uh, don't worry about that. Just
yeah,
forget that even exists and just
yeah,
started this.
yeah, exactly. They just wanted to point out that just for the sake of the people who played it before, this game is going to take place 1,000 years after the events of that original game. If people even remembered what happened in that game, it would be useful, but I don't think they will. But yeah, anyways, so for Souls fans, it looks to be like something worth a try. I mean, I like the concept itself. You die, you go to the underworld, you have to try and get out of it because the longer you stay there, the more aggressive the enemies become. And yeah, and the good thing is it has, well, not local co-op, but it still has co-op. You can still call one friend of yours to help you out when you're stuck with the boss. So yeah, maybe it's something that me and Yeshwanth should play. But first we'll have to play Dark Souls
Yep.
3. We'll finish Dark Souls 3
Let's
first.
go through that. Yeah, every podcast we are bringing up Dark Souls 3.
Well, we only brought it up for 2 podcasts till now. I'm not going to keep counting how many times because we will do it. Eventually, we will do it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, actually, I spent the previous week sitting and playing Planet of Lana on Xbox. I tried to, stream it, but Xbox does not have the option to stream directly to YouTube. So I did it on Twitch, and I encountered issues every now and then. So I had to do it in 3 parts. Then I thought no one is going to sit and watch 3 parts of it. So I downloaded it, and for the first time, I actually tried out video editing, and I must say, I developed a massive respect for video editors everywhere. It's a really, really hard task, man. I got really, really frustrated. I spent 2.5 hours to prepare 45 minutes of video. So, and I'm not yet done. I still have plenty left. I decided I'm done for the day, man. So I kept it aside, and maybe today, maybe by today, I'll finish editing it, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have it uploaded on our ICG channel, and we'll see. It's a fun game, and hopefully next time I'll make sure to speed up my editing process, or next time I'll make sure not to make any mess ups during recording so that I don't have to do it. And oh, look, sudden comment at the last minute.
Arpit Shah.
Hey, look, it's Arpit. He's one of the moderators from our server. Hello,
Hey
Arpit.
Arpit, thank
Thank
you
you.
for being a moderator, man.
Yeah, thank you for being a moderator. Thank you for showing up. And Abdul, are you going to play Starfield? Of course, I am. I will be, but not on day one. I'll take my own time to play it because I have a couple of games I want to finish before I sit and immerse 100 plus hours into that game. So yeah, I mean, I have to explore the galaxy, man. That's not something you can do within 2 hours. So I will take my time, but yeah, I will play Starfield. And I'm pretty sure you're getting a Series X just to play Starfield. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Starfield has. That also reminds me, Starfield is the reason many people have actually even bought Xbox in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Uh,
you
so,
know about the news, right? As soon as the deal was approved by the FT, I mean by the court,
mhm,
the Xbox Series X and Series S were basically out of the shelves. I mean,
yeah,
in
out of
all
stock.
the actual physical store in the stores, the Xbox Series X and S consoles were out of stock. It's like I don't know what they thought, but for a moment it felt like they were hoarding so that they can again make what do you say scalping these and
Scalping.
selling this at the higher price. I was like, oh my God, man, they'll do anything to basically scalp, I suppose. But it's good. It's good that Xbox is finally getting its time in the light, and this will always be good for competition.
I don't know if
Not for
consolidation is.
gamers.
Uh,
Oh man,
yeah,
as the more studios are purchased, the more and more divided it is, and you'll have to end up buying with both, I suppose.
yeah, I have to pick a side. Do you choose the red pill or the blue pill? So, yeah, I'm not entering the
Green.
matrix. Green, yeah. I will be. Forget all that. I'm going with Nintendo. Pick the green pill. But no. But no, I mean, if we are taking Xbox PS, it should be blue pill and green pill, and red pill should be for Nintendo. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to take any pills. I don't want any medication. As long as everything is available to play, let's just play and enjoy it. That's all I want to do. Anyways, I think we covered all of our topics for this podcast, and we spoke quite a lot with all of you who are kind enough to join
Yeah.
us today. So we're glad we were able to talk to you guys and also be able to cover. We have everything listed down. So the only question I want to ask is, where the hell were you guys last week when we needed you to talk to?
It's yeah,
Yeah,
people. We need to keep consistent. That's what I keep telling. We might
yeah,
not have the best quality of information or the way we deliver. We are still amateurs. We are not professionals. We just love to talk about games, and we will be here every Sunday unless we have other personal commitments. But we are keeping it consistent every Sunday. You can expect a podcast. I will
yep, yep.
see. I mean, uh, I'm just thinking about this. I think if Sunday 4 p.m. might be too early, I suppose, for most of the uh, youth, I think people our age. What do you think? Saturday night, like 10 p.m., 10:30, an hour. Saturday night is the Saturday night, so you don't
Saturday
have
night.
to worry about staying up alive.
Uh-huh. But what if people want to sit and play at Saturday night, huh? Or if they want to go out, what would you do
I
then?
just I think Sundays evenings is more prone to going
People
out
just,
than
yeah,
Saturday
prone to
night.
going out or just relaxing and having chill time. But yeah, you know what? Why don't you guys let us know in the comments below what would you like? Would you like us to have it on Saturday nights? Because if you guys say so, we can try and make it happen. It's because sometimes even we have to do some stuff on Sundays, but we're doing this so that we can have fun as well as have fun
Yeah.
with you guys. So just let us know down in the comments if you want us to have a podcast on Saturday night, or of course, you can reach out to Yashwant on Twitter.
Let's have a poll in the Discord. Let's just post a poll
Mhm.
asking Saturday night or keep it at the same time at Sunday 4 p.m.
Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, you can come and vote on the poll that I will create sometime this evening on our server. And of course, you can always send a DM or something to Yeshwan on Twitter and tell him, you can have it on Saturday night. But yeah, anyways, I think we got all the stuff covered for this week. So thank you
Yeah.
guys for watching. Thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe, and kindly
Yeah,
watch our
please
videos.
watch more our videos. Yes.
Yes, yes, please watch our videos, because I don't know if it's a glitch with YouTube or not, but for the past 2 weeks, it's been stuck on 15 hours of watch time. And I really think it's glitch, because I myself sat and watched one entire episode for an hour myself, and it still did not go up. So yeah, kindly watch the videos, guys, because the views will what will get us, some backing from YouTube itself. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, a few minutes of your time will definitely be worth it for us. Mean a huge support for us. So once again, thanks you all. Have a great week ahead. This is Abdul and Yashwant signing off.
Thank you all.